Hey patrons, what's going on? It's John from Dalles Farm. I posted a question on Facebook today on our group, and I asked for your biggest challenge. I know there's only like 7 of you in there right now, so I wasn't going to get a lot of replies. But I did get one reply from Dalles Hayes, and I would like to first of all say thanks for being a patron. Thanks for responding to the question. But his challenge is, my challenge is managing the timing of everything. I currently do a regular midweek market, so I'm assuming like a Wednesday. Personal sales to friends every other Sunday, okay, and another Sunday market every fortnight, which is every other, I think. So that must be the alternating Sundays, I would think, maybe. I've got 4 crops with basil, is number 5 on the way, and the dates to maturity range from 10 to 22 days, 30 odd for the basil. Now peas and fava beans, I can stretch a couple of days either side, but if I miss it with the radish, I've caught harvesting a less than perfect crop, and I've caught harvesting, oh, I'm sorry, back there. I reckon the shelf life will still suck. You have a heck of crops going. How do you manage your timing? Here we go. I know that was a long read, but I have a thing here for you. I'm going to upload this chart that I use currently. I've done several things. First of all, I've used a whiteboard with a calendar on it, and that did work for a while. But I found it to be too much maintenance, too tedious to manage. But it did kind of get me organized in my head, so it might not be a bad idea to print out a calendar, like a blank Excel sheet calendar or something like that, or use a whiteboard like I did, and that will get you kind of organized out, and it gives you a whole view of a month of what you're planting and when it's coming out. What I did was I just used different colors for different steps. So like my planting was green ink, and my harvest expected harvest date was blue, and my actual harvest date was brown, and that kind of a thing. But that got to be too much maintenance to just always do once you get it down. But I do always use this sheet. So this is my planting planner, okay? And as you can see on there, at the top it says planting planner. Over here I have dates to here. Let me prop this thing up for you, so I can kind of show you better pointed stuff. Here I have you put your dates here. You get your days of the week there. This lasts a week and a half because a lot of crops are about 10 days. All right. The crop name, the days to maturity. Now you can change this days to maturity based on your climate. Come on, focus. There we go. Because this is going to change with the seasons. At least it does for me, because even though I have climate control, this thing drives me crazy with the focus. Man, come on. There we go. Even though I have climate control in this room, I still end up with fluctuations in days to maturity in the seasons, because you can't completely control it, the spikes. And then pars per week. Now that's based on what I need, okay? Now, what you're going to want to do is keep track, obviously, your days to maturity. Okay, for example, right now, my sunflower, well, actually, let's do radish, because you talked about radish. My radish days to maturity is 7 days. It was 6 in the summer. It's up to 7. In the deep winter, it might get up to 8. I keep track of that, and I'll count backwards, obviously, in days. So if I need them for Sunday, and it's 8 days, I need to plant on Saturday. But, you know, you might want to plant on Friday because you might want to buy yourself some time and have a day to harvest and that kind of a thing. As far as shelf life on radish goes, by the way, very, very great, very good shelf life, especially if I wash everything, so I think I get extra out of it because of that. But I get 20 days, 21 days. Chefs get 21 days out of radish, a lot. Peas are the same way. I don't have any experience with beans, but I'm sure they're kind of similar to peas. So anyhow, what I would do is I would track all my crop days to maturity as I harvest, okay? And you have 5, so it should be relatively easy to figure that out. It sounds like you're about right on with a lot of them. And then I would count them backwards in days and figure out when I need to plant. Now, you have 3 different harvest dates, it sounds like, going on. So you're going to want to have probably 3 different planting times, roughly. A lot of these are going to line up because some of the stuff's going to carry over from one planting day to the other. So if I'm cutting radish on Wednesday for a midweek market, or on Tuesday, that radish is probably going to be fine, especially if you wash it, to carry over till that following Sunday, okay? Because I get 7 days out of radish. It's a great crop for that. And the peas I get much longer. I can't remember what the other crops you said were, but I don't think you listed them. Radish, and then the basil. So the basil, the beauty of the basil is it does take 35 days, but you don't really have to plan out your basil as far as days go. What you want to do with crops like basil is just go ahead and figure out how much you're going to use in a week and just plant that every week on whatever day, okay? And they can vary. You have a little flexibility because it takes 28 to 35 days for basil to mature. However, it's going to last on the shelf. It's just going to get a little bigger and more flavorful just with basil. I'll give you an example over here. I have basil that was planted on October 17th. Today, for reference, is November 16th, okay? So that's at 31 days, and it's a little short. Now, it might have had a little bit of a struggle with some things. Maybe it, got too much water or something along those lines. But then right next to it, I have a 10.5 basil. Now, if you do that math, we're at 41 or 2 days, something like that, because we have 31, whatever. Let's say 42 days. What's a day? And that one's a little bigger, and it actually looks really nice, and it's ready to roll, and it's got almost to a dime-sized leaf, which I like. The one next to it is 928, all right? And that is pretty big, but people seem to like that too. It just depends on the size they're looking for. Then I go one more over and I've got a 918. So that thing is 2 months. That's at 60 days almost, and it's just big leaves, and I have chefs that like that. So I don't worry about the basil thing. Like, basil's a great crop. If you can grow it and successfully, it's a great crop to have, because when you get them bigger like that, you're gonna get like 4-ish ounces out of a tray, and I get $5 an ounce. And I know that takes a long time on the shelf, but I'm not planting other stuff there anyway, so it's not really a loss. So that's what I got as far as how I work it out, and I'm gonna upload this planting planner for you guys to have. It's an Excel sheet, and if I can convert it successfully to a Google Doc, I'll do that and put that up as well. And I want you to be able to edit your days to maturity, though. Maybe I'll put up a blank, one that you can just handwrite with everything. All right, I'll put up a blank, totally blank, and then it's just a little graph, whatever. Gonna have to be a two-parter here because my camera apparently ran out of space and I had to go delete some stuff. But anyway, where I was at was I'll put up a blank copy of this for you, and you can just fill it in by hand if you can't get your Excel to work or something. Just for some other suggestions to wrap this up, Google Calendars can be your friend if you want to deal with the alerts and stuff like that. You could set your Google Calendar to alert you. You can have different calendars and all kinds of stuff like that. I did that for a while. It just ended up being too many alerts because I have too many things going on. Whiteboards, like I said, this sheet obviously, or just a handwritten list of like, this is what I need to plant and when I need to plant it, and that works too. That's a little less organized, but I think this chart works real well. I've started using this for a couple of months now, and I really like it because it gives me a full 10-day view of what I planted and when, and I know what I need to plant for a week. That's kind of how I work things. So as long as I've planted most of this stuff within the week, the long grow stuff, it won't matter. With the stuff that, like my purple cabbage that I need to have in 10 days, and I need that to be ready for Tuesday, obviously Tuesday to Tuesday 7, Mondays 8, Sundays 9, Saturdays 10. So I plant a lot of salad ingredients on Saturdays, and that gets me the following Tuesday. All right, so and that's the kind of the block. You get really used to it. You have to think, oh, it's the following Tuesday, like that. And you do freak out. Like I freak out all the time and go, oh my God, do I have enough stuff? Like I have to walk around the room and count it out and go, okay, that's gonna be ready for this week. That's ready for the following Tuesday. That's ready for this next Friday, because we do Tuesday, Friday, and it ends up being a lot in your head. But if you get a routine down and you stick with it, you should be fine. That's what I got. Cool, man. Thanks for the question. And keep them coming. Like I like the idea of the questions, and I'll just do specific videos on that when I have time to knock them out. And we go from there. Thanks very much. Bye-bye.